What is up, sista friends? Welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Coach Emily. It has been a couple weeks now since a new episode came out. So I appreciate you all for listening, for being followers and listeners here, and for giving me my 2 weeks off. Today's episode, I kind of wanted to give an update on all things, right? Not necessarily just to talk about myself, but as it relates to you, right? Because I do believe that we all experience very similar things in this life and very similar things as entrepreneurs. And sometimes we just need someone to be like, hey, me too. And you realize you're not alone. And you realize, wow, like I'm not going crazy, or like, wow, it's not wrong that I felt this way. And this is like one of the reasons why I love human design so much, because it's like the ultimate permission slip to be yourself and validate the feelings that you are feeling. So I really think in our world, at least the people that I know, we're really good at gaslighting ourselves. We're really good in saying and not val and like in invalidating our feelings and invalidating our thoughts, and because it looks different or we think it looks different from everybody else. And so if you follow me on Instagram, I did make posts about this of like why I was going off for, a week, which led to 2 weeks, gave a little update of what's been going on. So what was happening was, you guys know my general story. I was a fitness coach, been a personal trainer for 10 to 11 years. At this point, had a team, had assistant coaches, had VA, DMer, the whole gambit. That was February of last year that I let everybody go and started downsizing my fitness business to make a shift. And I didn't know what that shift was going to look like. And the reason I give you this whole story, because it's a bigger picture than just like, oh, I was overwhelmed with social media. And I let go of everybody and I was making this shift and I didn't know what I was going to be doing. At first, it was like fitness for coaches and helping them with that. And then that didn't feel, that was like, I was like, that is not me. Shifted it again. And I was like, what am I pretty good at? Productivity, organization, which to me still, like, I don't fully identify with those gifts. Like my friend Lacey even today was like, I wish I had this skill that you have. And I like don't even really see it as a skill, but most of the time your gifts and skills, you don't see it as a skill because it comes easy to you. And so I noticed that I really liked building up my peers. So I was going to start this program called Glow Getter, which was going to be fitness and helping your personal development as an entrepreneur. And then it evolved to energetic scheduling when I created energetic scheduling. And I've been trying to promote and do energetic scheduling now for, I would say, at least 6 months. If I had to guess, I haven't actually looked back, but I'm just kind of thinking back. Like it's been at least 6 months that I've been working on energetic scheduling and navigating that. So I've been really transitioning since February of last year. And I've been trying to figure out like, what is it I want to do? What is it that how do I want to serve people? Like, how do I want to make the impact that I want to make? Like what I really care about. But though I was like getting wrapped up in energetic scheduling, which I still love and I still want to do, but being like, it's not perfect, or people don't actually want it, or what am I chasing right now? And like getting mad that like the numbers, like the sales weren't matching the feedback I was getting, because I would be getting great feedback from my clients on like how energetic scheduling was helping them and how it was helping them live their lives more productively, feel more authentic, feel more connected to themselves, feel more connected to their clients, feeling like they could actually live their lives. So I was getting all this feedback, but like I wasn't getting more clients. And I felt like I was pushing and forcing and trying and then getting frustrated. And my business, I would say financially, is in the worst spot it's ever been, even before I started my business. So like when I first started my business, I was poor as poor goes. I was on food stamps. I lived in a 400 square foot apartment with no furniture, no money. And my business did great. Like it kicked off, like it went amazing. And this isn't going the same way. And that lesson is one really hard to learn, to expect the same results when you're doing something completely different. And so then I was also noticing like my obsession with social media was increasing. And I learned this skill when I worked with my financial coach, Sarah, because we all have these telltale like patterns and behaviors and signs within ourselves that let us help, because we externally act a certain way when we're feeling something internally. So for example, financially, if I using financials as an example, if I'm in a low spot, like mindset wise, I spend money. I buy clothes, I go out to eat a lot, I spend a lot of money. And my bank account can be a great mirror for me to see what's actually going on. Be like, okay, I'm clearly not okay right now, because sometimes it's hard to connect with what we're actually feeling and thinking. So that's an example. Social media was becoming like that, in the sense of like, I wasn't feeling like my business was really doing anything, but I was on social media every day. I was on social media every day. And I was taking that as like, well, I'm working, I'm doing something. And technically, yes, being on social media is a part of your work as an entrepreneur. And yes, it is like a huge part of your job as an entrepreneur. But the way I was going about it was using it as like almost like an excuse or a distraction from what I really needed to be working on. Was like, what is it you want to actually freaking do? How do you want to help people? How do you want to make money and be able to live off that money and make the impact that you want to make? And so I was like, and it just like hit me. It wasn't something that like I was like contemplating at all. It just like hit me like a brick wall. I was like in the kitchen with Austin and I was like, you know what? I need a break. I need a break from social media. I'm not doing well. I've been very depressed. I've been feeling very low, been feeling very sad, very down on myself. My self-worth has been fluctuating for months. My self-worth fluctuates every single day, but that's a part of my human design. But, it was to a new level. And so I was like, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to touch it for a week. And, all the fears come up that I'm sure come up for you when you think about not being on social media for a week. I'm like, your business is just going to collapse more. You're going to become irrelevant. You're just choosing failure basically at this point. But I chose to ignore those fears because you cannot gain wisdom if you are operating from a space of fear. And so I'm choosing wisdom and trying to gain wisdom here, because for me specifically, and I really think everybody, human design or not, taking time to be alone, to get rid of the noise can really help bring a lot of clarity, right? I always say, like, you can't be productive if you don't have clarity and you aren't grounded. It's just like impossible. And so I just needed to get away from social media, and I needed a new relationship with social media. So this is another facet of this, because you have a relationship with everything in your life: your laptop, your work, your emails, your phone, social media, your house, your clothing, your food, your alcohol, your exercise. You have a relationship with literally everything in this life, because everything is energy and there's an exchange of energy between things. Sometimes one thing is parasitic and takes a lot of more energy than it gives, right? Things like that. And I have done this now twice with my relationship with alcohol, and I'm currently still walking through that right now, where I go 90 days without alcohol starting January 1st. I did it last year and I'm doing it this year. And I actually think I'm going to push it to 120 days. But that all being said, whenever I take these breaks away from something, it allows me to gain clarity of like, what is my relationship with this thing, and notice like when I tend to lean towards it, why I grab for it, or, how it pops up in my brain. It allows me to gain clarity about my relationship with that thing. And with alcohol, it has been tremendous. The how I refine my relationship with alcohol every time I do this little 90-day break. And so this with the phone, I was like, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give it a week, because obviously social media is a part of being an entrepreneur, and taking a month off, especially since I don't have like email lists that are popping or anything like that. It is the main form in which I get clients. So I was like, okay, we'll give it a week. In that first week, I really did notice that how often I usually grab for my phone, and how often I use it to numb myself, and how often I use it to distract myself from what I need to be doing. And it allowed that first week, I just allowed, it really was just the space I needed to fully feel my feelings and understand like what I was truly feeling and like where it was really coming from. And I just allowed myself to be sad. Nothing like major happened in that, but I just like took a lot of downtime, watched a lot of TV, relaxed, went to yoga, spent time with Austin, focused on school, things like that, watched movies. And then this last week, which was the second week, because on Sunday of the first week, I was like, you know what? We're going to push it out another week because I'm not ready to come back. I'm not ready. The thought of like creating an Instagram post for the sake of my business was like, I was like, no, I can't. I can't. It would be inauthentic. It would be forced. And I'm trying to get away from this forced feeling that I've been feeling. So I was like, okay, we're going to give it another week. So I gave it another week. And this last week was when my motivation and my clarity started to set back in. And I started to feel like, okay, all right, I'm getting a better picture of what I want. I'm getting a better picture of what I need. Because I was asking myself, like, what is it that matters to me? Like, how do I want to serve people? How can I do it sustainably? What is it that I need to be the best leader that I want to be for the people I want to serve? And like, going from there. And I knew that I wanted it to be energetic scheduling, and I knew that I wanted to help entrepreneurs, and I really want to teach, right? I like teaching. I like helping people learn something that's going to make their life easier. And so I just started playing with that a little bit more. And over the weekend, I back-to-back days at the coffee shop, cranked out a bunch of work, got my new offer into place, creating a landing page. Today I'm working on email lists. Like, I'm feeling like my feet are on the ground again. And the strange thing is, though, like, I'm still not 100% all better, right? Feeling so much better. Like, I'm still struggling with some sadness. I'm still struggling with some, am I able to do this? The pressure, like some pressure. And I'm still working through that, but I also have a better idea of like what I need. And I definitely think I'll be doing these little breaks every quarter, maybe. I haven't decided the frequency, but they're definitely necessary. And this is kind of like where I need to practice what I preach, right? I cannot see my mission clearly when I'm constantly bombarded by everybody else's ideas. It's almost like too much for me to take in. And the comparison is too much for me. So this break has allowed me to create a new relationship with Instagram, and has honestly helped me see it clearer, like what it is, what it's for, and who I can be on it. And taking that pressure off of like needing to look a certain way or be a certain way on there has definitely come as well. And all of this is like a domino effect, right? That's why I told, like, recapped the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, because it's all connected. And I don't think that I gave myself enough grace from my transition from a fitness coach to now a energetics and productivity coach. I don't think that I gave myself enough time to really sit with what I needed. And this is a behavior of mine that I've always had, because I have high expectations of myself and I always want to be the best. And I always want to be a shining example of what could be for people, because I do believe that everyone is destined for more, and that everybody has a specific purpose and gift that they are meant to be giving to the world. And I almost like that felt heavy for me. And it's still a little heavy, right? Like, where like I'm like, is anybody going to be interested in this? Does anybody care about this? Do they think it'll help them? But the break really helped take some film off of my eyes. So I definitely think I'm going to keep doing them, just so that I can make sure that I am always coming from a place of clarity, a place of seeing things clearly, and like bringing human design into it. I am a mental projector. So a mental projector only has their crown and their ajna defined. Everything else is open. And so I'm learning that, because all of my energy comes from my head. Like, I'm very head heavy. I got a big ass head too, so it makes sense. But I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of opinions. I have certain point of views on things. That's just like part of who I am. But the beauty of being a mental projector is you're all open underneath. So you're supposed to be taking in the senses around you to help you make those decisions. And I haven't been doing that. And it's something that's going to be hard for me to learn, because that openness is wonderful and can be used as a gift. And that's where I can learn a lot of wisdom, but it's also a place of a lot of conditioning, which is why I can struggle with, motivation and self-worth, because of those open centers. And all of this to say as well, it's just ironic because I've been go, go, go. I call myself a recovering stress addict. That's why I understand what like female fitness entrepreneurs are going through, because I was queen of stress to the point of, wanting multiple jobs just for the high of a stress. And so all these years I've been this stress addict. And just last year I started my process of a recovering stress addict. And this break, a lot of things happened in this break. And it was just like God's timing is always perfect. And he always knows what's right and what's best for me, more than even though I like to think that I know what's best for me. So it's just so timely that I needed this break, and I'm feeling this way because it's been go, go, go. My wedding last year, the deconstruction of full circle coaching, before that, the building of it's just been go, 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 right? Before that, my divorce, like stress is a huge part of life. Yes. But the timing of this break is kind of ironic because at the same time as well, I got my results back from Rita. If you don't know who Rita Utterback is, we have an episode together on this podcast. Make sure you go listen to it. She's the literal smartest person that I know. I got my HTMA results back from her. So we've been working together with my blood work. We got my mineral test. I'm about to send her my GI map, basically figuring out what the heck is wrong with me. Because if you guys don't know, I get sick all the time. I if I get on a plane, your girl is going to get sick. It's just like, I'm a sickly person and I just have been feeling well and my digestion's been off. And like, I'm like, Rita, save me. So we started this process and get my results back. And, there's definitely some like adrenal fatigue, thyroid fatigue. My body's not really absorbing many nutrients. I'm deficient in a lot of minerals. And it just all starts to make sense. And Rita gives me these protocols, and these protocols are basically, it's time to enter my slow down era. I have to change my workouts. I have to change my diet. So now I am doing yoga like 4 or 5 days a week, doing light strength training here at home with dumbbells. I have to return my Peloton. My diet is, I have to start eating meat now, which we could do a whole episode on just that. But I start eating meat again, focusing on whole foods, complex carbs, getting lots of great veggies in just to support my body and nourish it, bone broths, trace minerals, extra electrolytes, because I have apparently like no potassium in my body or something crazy like that. So the reason I bring this up is not to whine about my situation. It's just, I've gotten to this point of where I truly believe where I'm supposed to be. I do believe I'm supposed to do energetic scheduling because I think it's like this crack in a door that I don't really know what the door is yet, but it's leading somewhere amazing. But I can't get through that door until I deal with all of this. And everything up to this point has been leading to this point. Because I don't think that I was meant to be a fitness coach. I think I was meant to be a fitness coach so I could understand and meet other entrepreneurs and be able to provide them solutions to help them live out their missions. Because I truly believe that I'm someone who's here to help other people live out their missions, give them the tool on the path while they're on the path, right? I just got this like visual of like, you guys know I'm a fairy fantasy freak. I just got this visual of like a mercenary or a soldier or someone like in the forest, like on a path. And I'm like the little wise lady with her hut on the side that's like, hey, do this, 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 and this. You'll get through this bridge faster. You'll be able to do this, blah, 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 and help this person live out their mission. That's who I believe I am. And I'm really proud that I've gotten to that conclusion as well, because for so long I was like, oh, I need to be this pioneer, this trailblazer type person. And that's not me. I am the wise woman on the side of the road to help you get to the path to glory faster. My participation in this greater picture is just as important as the trailblazer, because everybody needs help on their way to reach their mission. And I believe every woman is destined for more, and they just need a little assistance to get there, to help master this level that they're in as an entrepreneur. But I can't do that if I'm not taking care of me, if I'm not helping myself get to the place that I need to be to help you get to the place you need to be. And so all of this is like come to a head. And I'll have another one of these, right? Because that's just how life works. But the break was necessary to gain clarity and also learn all this stuff about my physical body so I could take care of myself to help the troops, my girls, get where they need to go. And that's been very eye-opening. And I think I'm like verbally processing it now, recording this podcast, but it feels really good. And it feels correct. And so coming up for me is continuing to build out this new offer that I think is going to be really helpful to a lot of people. A little like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like spoiler, or like I don't know the word. But it's going to be called the Energetic Scheduling School. So be on the lookout for that. I'm very excited to be like fully announcing it, but get ready, get excited. I also have some other things that I think are going to be really beneficial as I continue to grow and build as a human design reader, and over the next couple of years become an herbalist. I'm not sure what that looks like just yet, which is actually in my human design that I like don't know exactly the end goal, but I know that the steps that I'm taking are helping me get where I need to go. And I have to trust that process. Lots of trust in my human design, and lots of faith, which is also ironic because I am a resilient and very faithful person, in the sense of like, I always know everything's going to work out, even when I'm feeling the way I've been feeling, which is pretty low and pretty not so great. But I have some really great friends in my corner. My husband is the literal best human on the planet. And I have all that I need to get where I need to go. I just need to keep taking care of me to get there. And I think this is super important for everybody to hear, because I've made this podcast heart to heart for a reason, because we all need to know we're going through the same crap, and that we are all more human than we put on social media. And we all go through similar feelings and similar struggles, because this is a crazy ride. I always say you have to be kind of insane to be an entrepreneur, to choose this path, because it's not easy. It's literally the hardest thing I've ever done. The hardest thing I've ever done. And it just like new challenges are always arising. But knowing in your heart that you are resilient, that you are persistent, you are adaptable, and that you believe that this is the right thing to do. I think that is what separates us from people who give up, is we really believe this is the right thing to do. And so whatever you got to do to get there, you just figure it out. And I really think the break from social media was amazing. I highly recommend it. I've been hesitant to say that because I don't want to give like, I don't know if it's necessarily business advice, but this would be energetic advice, because your Instagram, whatever platform you use, for me, it's Instagram, takes a lot of energy from you, a lot, distracts you, takes away your energy, sucks things out that of self-worth. It's really, it's something that you need to analyze your relationship with. And I really think it is a key part in your productivity and a key part in why you're not seeing the results you want to see. I mean, you guys make posts about your clients being on their phone in between sets. You're on your phone in between calls. You're on your phone in between tasks, right? It is a huge energy suck. And I really encourage anyone who's trying to be more energetically aligned to reassess their relationship with social media by taking a break. if you have a VA or something, crank out a bunch of content ahead of time, get them to post it for you, and you don't even go on it. I really think it's a big game changer, and I'm definitely going to be doing it again. Since coming back to the world of social media, I was very excited to come back, and I have felt really good on it so far, but the habits creep back up very easily. So be aware of that. But just like with my relationship with alcohol, it gives me new eyes to look at it. So that's kind of the biggest update. I've never given a big update like that. That was a lot of talking about me. But if you resonate with this at all, I hope this was really helpful for you guys, because you may be I've been calling this an energetic shift, and you may be going through the same thing right now. So if you are, please send me a message. I would love to talk to you about it. You can join the Energetic Ladies group chat for extra support, extra resources. I just dropped a new burnout guide in there as well. So make sure you check that out. If you join the Energetic Ladies group chat, be on the lookout for the new energetic scheduling school, which I am so excited about. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this with your sister friend that you feel like would benefit from this podcast. Leave any reviews, comments, anything you would love to hear more about on this podcast. And I will talk to you guys soon.